Hi, I'm Danielle, and welcome back to my channel where I talk about whatever it is I feel like. And today I have a book haul. Yes! I know what you're thinking. Wow, the shelves that you sit in front of, those look pretty full. Where are those books going to go? And to that I say, you're like really smart. Yeah. Look at you using your brain like that. It's actually kind of cute. Like a little hot. That's neither here nor there. So today I went to one of my favorite places ever, which is a secondhand bookshop near where I live. It's what they call Rascal Day. So you basically get 10% off your purchase, if I'm not mistaken. That happens the first Saturday of every month. Last Saturday was 4th of July, so this is the makeup day essentially. And then they always have a deal where if you buy 4 regular price books, you get a 5th one free. So I kind of went a little crazy. Let me show you what I got. Look at this. There's so many. They're so pretty and so many different genres. I'm so excited. So let's go through everything. The first book I got was Roar by Cecilia Ahern. This is actually a collection of fiercely feminist stories. So these are a bunch of short stories. I thought this would be kind of good for me since I sometimes go days, weeks, months without reading. I figured having short stories to kind of just, pop in, pop out would be something that, kept everything exciting. And this is also a series on Apple TV Plus. I have that on my watch list, so I will definitely check it out at some point. But this is basically a story of how women navigate the world today in sometimes fantastical ways. So the thing that got me on this blurb was, one woman is swallowed up by the floor during a mortifying presentation. Another resolves to exchange her husband at the store where she originally acquired him. This seemed a little Twilight Zone-y, a little bit, just a bit more whimsical with the types of stories that it's going to be telling, and in almost a fantastical way. And there are 30 short stories in here. So, very excited to try this book out. Next up, I have The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. That's how I'm going to pronounce it. Alex Michaelides. I genuinely just picked this book up because it is on my Libby app. I put it there as like a book I wanted to borrow. I think it's on, what is it called? I put it on hold. It's a suspended hold at this point, but I saw a listicle on someone's TikTok account about a book with an unreliable narrator. And if there's one thing about me, I love an unreliable narrator. So this is basically the story of a woman who shoots her husband 5 times in the face and doesn't speak again. And she's currently in the psych ward, and a criminal psychotherapist is captivated by her story and wants to work with her, and he's trying to get her to talk and unravel the mystery of why she would shoot her husband. That seems so up my alley. Women killing their husband. I need more of that. Please, love it so much. And unreliable narrator. I'm very excited to try this book. When will I read it? That's there you go again. Looking so cute with your questions. The next book is The Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab. Look at this cover. Oh. There was one book talker who's also a makeup YouTuber named Tammy Clark, I want to say, where she did a makeup look inspired by a book, like the book cover. She did Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, and that look was fabulous. And seeing this cover, it makes me want to do a makeup look off of this. You know what I mean? Like this kind of orangey, reddish situation with the almost like ultraviolet blue purple. That would be fire. Okay, that has nothing to do with the book, but I basically wanted this book because I adored The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I read that a couple years ago, and it captivated me from the very first page. It was so fascinating. So I'm always looking out for this author. I have a couple more of her books. Have I read them yet? Such a cutie with your questions. This book is basically about 4 worlds inside of London. 4 worlds inside of London. They're kind of named off of colors. So there's gray London, red London, white London. One of the Londons has, disappeared. And it's basically 3 different magicians, I think, who are going to cause these worlds in London to collide. I'm thinking. I'm trying hard not to just read the blurb because that's going to take forever and it's going to be long and kind of boring. Me just reading the blurb of all these books. But I think that's what I'm getting from this. It's just a bunch of magicians around a fractured London, basically. Tess is the only one who can keep all the worlds from unraveling if she manages to stay alive first. So, that is intriguing. She also writes the Shades of Magic series, and I'm pretty sure either on this shelf or in my Kindle, I have that series somewhere as well. So, like I said, I read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I loved it. You're not supposed to judge a book by its cover. I love this, so I'm very excited to read this. This seems like, I feel as though her books are very fall-coded. Maybe that's just because when I read Addie LaRue. I don't know. The next book is Fox by Joyce Carol Oates. I have one other book by Joyce Carol Oates. I'm pretty sure it's Blonde. I have a couple more shelves, but I don't know where Blonde is. But anyway, this book is psychological suspense about the dark secrets that surface after the shocking disappearance of a charismatic, mercurial teacher at an elite boarding school by the legendary author who is surely one on any short list of America's greatest living writers. Nice. So it's basically about this English teacher named Francis Fox, and he disappears. Like his car is found submerged in a pond by the school, if I'm not mistaken. And the entire community is asking a bunch of questions about who this professor might actually be. I thought that was very interesting, especially when it's someone who's in a position of power, who's charismatic, and then they have a lot of secrets and you don't know what's going on underneath. But yeah, I'm very excited to read this one. And again, really pretty cover. The next book is The Talent by Daniel Daddario. Look at this. Another thing about me is that I love award season.
What is your favorite season? Awards.
I'm always excited for the Emmys, the Grammys, the Oscars. The Tonys is annoying because it's always like off season, like it's in June while the rest are in the fall, which is very irksome. The Golden Globes. I love the whole culture of award season of just getting dressed up all fancy and, it's almost like a pageant in a way because you're just kind of putting on your performance and you're like, please look at me, look at me, look at my performance, look at my performance. So this book is about 5 leading ladies, 5 nominations, only 1 Best Actress winner, and a very long award season. Cue the drama. So it's basically about 5 different women who are all up for an award, and they have different reasons why they would possibly want it or what getting this award would mean for them in their careers. So one of them is a highly regarded woman in the industry. Another basically had a nervous breakdown and it has an alcohol addiction and kind of wants to, have this arc of redemption. Another woman is a former child star who wants to be taken more seriously. Another is trying to find her footing as a young ingenue. Another is an underdog and looks up to some of the older ones. So I'm very excited to see the kind of, what does this say? While they work to push their careers forward and maintain the public's goodwill, all 5 are forced to confront truths about themselves that they would rather ignore. Yes, I'm so excited to kind of peek behind the curtain in that way as to what they're all hiding and what it's going to take to win this award, basically, and what they stand to lose, potentially. So the interesting thing about this book is the past, 3 or 4 times I've gone to the bookstore, I've picked this book up and gone, oh, this looks so good. But then I'm already carrying 6 books and I'm like, let me put it down. I have too many. But this time I was like, you know what? I keep picking this up. I must want it. So I got it. Maybe I'll read this around the award season. Sounds like a good idea. Next up is The Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah. This one. Another book where I really want to recreate the cover on my eyes. Like the orange and purple, that'd be stunning. Wouldn't it? It'd be stunning. Okay. So this one is about a criminal who hunts and sells illegal magic, and she saves the life of a prince, but that draws the attention of the king, or the sultan, sorry, and he's kind of blackmailing her into finding an ancient lamp. So the tagline of this is, in a world where story is reality and illusion is truth, Luli will discover that everything, her enemy, her magic, even her own past, is not what it seems. But that seemed very fascinating. Just someone who, I just like when magic is a commodity that you can buy and sell. It becomes a thing where someone wants it, someone has it, theft, intrigue, lying, truths, half-truths. This just seemed really fascinating. And I like that someone said shimmering with magic as their little blurb on the back. I liked that. Yeah, she's basically teaming up with the sultan's son. The sultan who's blackmailing her. She's teaming up with his son to go find this artifact. This will be an intriguing read. Last but not least, I got Rose in Chains by Julie Soto. So, interesting thing about this book, for some reason, I keep mixing it up with The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy. I don't know why. Maybe the vibes of the cover are the same? I have no clue. But I have this special edition with this beautiful sprayed purple gold leaf vine edges. It looks absolutely stunning. Again, another book that I want to put on my face. This book is, so let me just read the little quick blurb. The war is over, the dark forces have won, and the hero who was supposed to save them is dead. And then the first thing it says in the blurb is, the prophecy lied. So, that is already, I was hooked. I was grabbed. I was hooked. And it's basically about this woman named Bryony Rosewood who watches her brother die, and then the enemy come in and overtake her kingdom, and then she's sold at auction because she has remarkable magic. Again, with magic as a commodity. What is going on? So basically, she is sold to the Hearst family, and she knows the son, basically, from all of his merciless taunting at school, and now she can't ignore him. He's a beautiful silver-haired man. And while Tovin is most definitely her enemy, he's something else too. Something unexpected. But yeah, this seemed very interesting. The other thing that I don't remember about this book, and I was trying to look it up, if this woman had written Harry Potter fan fiction, just because. It seems very, yeah, she has. Okay, the author of many spicy fan fictions as Loves Bitka 8? What? Loves Bitka 8. So yes. The reason I said that is because I was a huge Harry Potter fan before, J.K. Rowling came out, shat the bed, and proved herself to be the most awful human being alive. One of the most awful human beings alive. But I was very active in fandom spaces, and I know Harry Potter very well. The prophecy lied. The silver-haired boy in school who used to tease you is now, that's Hermione. I know what Hermione looks like. I never read Hermione. I was not a fan of Hermione, but I can, as an OG fandom person, I respect fandom and I expect ships. You know what I mean? I respect them. So, yeah. I think that's why I keep confusing this one with The Irresistible Urge to Fall in Love with Your Enemy, because that's also Harry Potter fanfiction. I think that's why I keep mixing these two books up, because they're both so Hermione-coded in my head. And, even the covers, the kind of, I don't know. Neither here nor there. This was on the list of, Worker Recommends. I thought the cover was pretty, and this seemed more interesting than Irresistible Urge. No shade to that book. A lot of people really enjoy it. I was listening to it on audiobook. I did not enjoy it. But, yeah, I really do want to try this one, and I'm excited to try this one. That is my haul. I wish I could say, put in the comments which book you want me to read first, but if you do, I'm not going to listen. I do hope I read them before I, die. That's going to be my hope. I read them before the end of my life. I think that's the best we can hope for at this point in time. But yeah, I will, that's all it is for today. And I will see you next time when I have something else I want to talk about. Bye.